Try it on, yeah. I tried to drive away, but my car ain't the fast. I tried to push you away, 'cause this won't last. I tried to give you away, but you ain't worth a dime. I tried to send you away, but you ain't worth the time. No, I'm sick of these drinks you have got on me. So let the lightning shoot down on me. I'd rather get love than nothing at all. Sometimes I don't know why I try at all.
All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Yeah, we're here at the Benny and Diane cast, and we have some special guests today. And Benny's not here, and Brian's not here, and that's why we're doing it over here on, instead of being on HBL Radio Nation, Brian's sick. And so I called Benny to see if she could do it. No, and everything. And at the last minute with no heads up. So anyway, Moms and SPYKIN are, Moms Russo and SPYKIN are, thank you for joining me today. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to talk some bullshit politics and just...
There you go. Happy to be here.
And all about all the fuckery that's going on. Benny is in the chat. She's not feeling well, otherwise she'd be here herself. So,
feel better, Benny.
And she's got...
Feel better, Benny.
And she's got lots of work to do. You know how that goes. Even when you don't feel good, you still got tons of shit to do.
Mm-hmm. It should never goes away either.
Yeah. So, again, thanks, Moms and Spy, for coming in and doing the show with me this afternoon.
Can I just tell you something that I found that was funny just now that popped up in my threads?
Sure.
It's on the Borowitz report, and it says, prison guards dreading body search of Steve Bannon. I've been dreading that shit, too.
Wait, isn't he reporting to jail today?
July 1st.
Oh, July 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's news. That's news.
That happened today. So,
something I do want to cover right here at the top of the show, because I think I want to announce it until everybody realizes it. They're coming after your votes, people. So, 438,000 votes by mail requests have been canceled in Miami-Dade County and Florida. So please renew them and do it now. Go to vote.org and make sure that you're registered and you can vote in Miami-Dade. They're doing it all over the country.
Do it all over, and especially in Florida.
And
because I missed the primary. It's the first time I missed an election ever. Okay. And what it was is I never got my ballot. So I didn't even think about it. All of a sudden, I'm watching the news, and it's like, today was primary day. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know, and I went and checked, and they had canceled it because we had changed our address. So they just canceled the ballot. So I had to reapply.
Right. So double check.
For anyone who has seen me posting the election protection hotline, you can find that on vote.org. If anyone interferes with your ability to vote in the upcoming elections, call that number.
Yep. Plug it in your cell phone. Plug it in your cell phone so when you're there and any bullshit goes down, then you've got it right there. Plug it in your phone. Election interference.
Election protection hotline.
Yeah, election protection hotline. So, is somebody posting that? Yeah, no. Okay, that's our phone number. You can call into the show 248-780-9775. So please feel free to call into the show. We are taking calls, and I think this is the funnest new feature that we have. I'm really enjoying it.
It's so wonderful.
It's a good time.
Yeah, set the date for Bannon to report to prison. So his appeals,
July 1st.
His appeals were all denied.
Yeah.
Just like Peter Navarro, and Peter Navarro had to go to jail too. So I think it's all going to go that way. And I think these appeals are going to be denied. If we could just get them to the appeals court, or appellate court. So
and as long as we just pray that that orange asshole doesn't get back in, because then all those people will get forgiven again. And
yeah,
I will go insane, and I will take you all with me.
Yeah,
I heard a really good argument for why MAGA itself should want to see the Trump trials. If they are so WWE and they're so about the entertainment of it, why don't they want to see him go through trials?
Yeah, come on, you could OJ it up.
Yeah.
And for those of you who were too young to do OJ, you missed a spectacle. Oh, my God.
God. An embarrassing spectacle.
An embarrassing spectacle. I was working nights when he did the Bronco run, and we just stood there all night. Hardly any customers could take care of because we were watching the Bronco chase.
Right, yeah. The Bronco chase. You know what? I was so disgusted by the whole thing that I tuned out on the OJ trial. I was like, I'm not going to watch this fucking 24-hour a day spectacle. I'm like, I've got shit to do. And I mean, that was what, in the 90s? When was it exactly? I think it was in college.
Yeah, late 90s, I think. Mid to late 90s. Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah, like, I can't remember exactly when it was, but I was like, yeah, I got too much shit to do. I can't sit here in front of a TV watching this bullshit all day. And I was like, okay, I'll get the highlights, in the 6 o'clock news or whatever,
Right.
So I didn't really, I kind of
1995.
95.
Yep. October is when it started.
Right, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I lied. The murder trial spanned 8 months from January 24th to October 3rd, 1995.
January to October. I mean, come on. 10 months straight of that fucking bullshit. Well, we've had 9 years of fucking this piece of shit orange blob, so
Yeah. Well, I've had them since the 80s, girls. Yeah. Can't stand them.
well, yeah. And we found out that some rich Saudi guy, Jeff Yas, bought his fucking jet for $10 million. And everything with him is quid pro quo. Everything is, catch and kill, a quid pro quo. I'll do something for you if you don't do something for me. He's like literally
transactional.
Yeah, Trump donor bought the Trump $10 million private jet is Jeff Yas, who invested $3 billion in Trump media. Oil execs plan to raise $1 billion for Trump in return for tax cuts. Kushner takes $2 billion from the Saudis and $1 billion from Qatar. Each of these was a quid pro quo. It's like everything is a quid pro quo with this motherfucker.
The reason they're doing that and having him have the Saudi guy buy his airplane and everything, because it's a way to donate to his candidacy.
Yeah.
And go over the limits.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to.
Like same thing when he sold the Russian like a mansion, and it was worth, I don't know, like $5 million, but he paid $20 million for it or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's same kind of bullshit.
He's been a piece of shit for far longer than these 9 years.
Yeah.
He's been a piece of shit my entire life.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm with you, girl.
It's like quid pro quos in his blood. Blackmail. He blackmails everyone. Give me money and I'll do something for you.
Right.
I'll give you cabinet. I'll give you the court. I'll give you tax cuts for the rich and all regulation. He'll do anything in order to become president again because he knows goddamn well he's going to fucking jail. If he loses, he's going to jail. If he wins, he can make all the fucking cases go away, and bam, we live in a fucking dictatorship like that.
Sure. And he, it would have been nice if he had made deals like that with all the people that he owed money to for building the Taj Mahal and, all this stuff, cabinet maker that ended up killing himself.
Right.
Because he was so distraught because he had lost everything because Trump fucked him out of his money.
That is not the first suicide that I've heard of people that he fucked over, the little guys that little companies he was fucking over back in the day. I mean, it started with, we were talking about this before we started, about how he and his dad got sued for being totally racist and not letting black people into his buildings. And then if they did, they'd make a C next to their name. And you're not allowed to do that, right? Right, Mom?
That's right. You're not allowed to do that. You can't even do smiley faces and frowny faces. You can't make any marks on those papers, on those resumes. Nothing.
Right. And it's not really a resume. It's like it would be a
rental
landlord,
application.
a lease for,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So.
Yep, you can't make any marks.
Yeah, he's been a piece of shit his whole fucking life. And then And you want to talk about, like, I remember Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton had a body count. The body count. No. Donald Trump has a body count.
Yes, he does.
He's got a big
For real.
body count. He's got the helicopter people. He's got all the fucking girls he screwed, and all the women he grabbed him by the pussy. He's got a million in deaths of COVID. He's got all the suicide people who do the suicide shootings and then kill themselves. And then, he's got like all his motherfucking lawyers are all losing their license. What is it?
Well, and let's not
people?
forget the women that are dying because he decided he wanted to overturn Roe.
The women who are
Yes, ma'am.
dying right now because he wanted to overturn Roe. But I also, like, all these people we keep saying, why do they keep doing this, right? You've got 62 now indicted fake electors in 5 states. 62 people just threw their fucking bodies on a fucking bomb for this motherfucker.
And I don't understand it. I just don't get it. That he can offer nothing because he doesn't even offer them power. He doles that out in little bitty pieces, but just enough to keep you there, sort of like a drug dealer. The first one's free. After that, there we go, and I get you up where I want you and then snatch you right out of this world.
Yeah. You got 13 people who are convicted felons that are all around him. Campaign chair, his deputy campaign manager, his personal lawyer, his chief strategist, his national security advisor, his trade advisor, foreign policy advisor, campaign fixer, and his company CFO. Plus, you got the 1,200 people that are in prison because of Jan 6. I mean, you're talking, there's the numbers, just looking at the numbers alone, it's staggering. And everybody keep going, why do they do it? Why do they keep trashing their lives for this orange bloviated piece of shit?
It's a semblance of power because they want that little semblance of power, and they think that he will give it to them, but he won't.
He'll keep it to himself.
We got a call coming in.
Oh, I hear the phone.
Call from ALIOSHER.
Oh, Allie.
Hi,
Allie.
Allie Osher.
Hi, Allie.
Hey guys, it's Ali Osher. How you guys doing? Sorry about that. I didn't hear the prompt, so I was a little surprised. Yeah, even as I typed in the chat, it's getting to the point where you can't even remember all of Trump's crimes. I mean, like I said before, it's like 8 soap operas at the same time. It's ridiculous.
It is a lot to follow.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just said it is a lot to follow. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I have a website. Let me see, it's just since 2015, there have been 56. Is it 56? As of April 2023, Donald Trump has been credibly accused of committing at least 56 criminal offenses since he launched his campaign for president in 2015. The total only reflects allegations relating to his time in or running for office and omits, for instance, Trump's criminal exposure for fraudulent business dealings. 56 criminal offenses.
And that, I mean, okay, but wait a minute. That doesn't even include. Does that include any of the indictments?
2023. That doesn't include a
No.
lot of shit.
It's an 8-year period. It's an 8-year period.
Holy shit.
And you guys or I had crime once, and they'd fucking throw us away and throw away the key. Lock us up and throw away the key.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was worried that Trump was only going to have one trial and then the other ones were going to be delayed. Thankfully, he lost that trial. So
right. And that might be the only one he gets
yeah.
this year.
Well, we also got the ProPublica article this week that said 9 witnesses in the criminal cases against former President Donald Trump have received significant financial benefits, including large raises from his campaign, severance packages, new jobs and grants of shares in cash from Trump's media company. And by the way, Trump's lawyers tried to get this article to stop from coming out. So they tried to get the ProPublica article, and that's why they do it. That's why they keep doing it, because they're going to make a shitload of money if they do it. Number one. Number two, I think he's got compromise on a lot of these people.
Have you heard? Did you
Wouldn't
hear the
surprise me.
latest news? Hang on.
What?
Did you hear the latest news about all the people getting dehydrated and sick waiting at the Arizona Trump rally?
Well,
No, but I'm not surprised. Wait
wasn't
till he
it in
gets to
Vegas?
Because that one's outside, and today it's
No.
116 degrees in Vegas.
yeah.
No. No, this was Arizona. This wasn't Vegas.
No, I know, but
So,
that's why I said wait till he gets to Vegas this weekend. I think Hal's
Right.
talking about going.
Yeah. He wants to do
Yeah.
it at noon in Las Vegas when it's 116 degrees outside in the sun.
He's ridiculous. That's because they keep him in a fucking cooler until it's time for him to go on stage because they don't want his makeup to melt.
Well, not only
So-
that, but he has to do it during the day when his cognitive abilities are at their
Mhm.
best,
Yep.
and he can't afford to get an indoor venue because he doesn't pay anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody will run to him anymore.
Nobody will run. Yeah, he's going to do it outside in a fucking field somewhere.
Yeah, that's what he's doing because he doesn't pay for security. He doesn't pay the
Right.
cities or the states back. I mean, like I said, it's 8 soap operas or a super reality TV show, and nobody is saying to him, you got to calm down. If everybody's going to vote for you, you don't need to campaign. Something so he acts like an adult, but apparently they can't do that.
I hope he has a
Apparently
heat
they
stroke.
can't.
I hope he has a heat stroke and passes out on stage.
There you go. Nothing too major.
Well-
just a
Knock
little
on
heat
wood.
stroke. A little
Well,
heat
yeah, I mean, we
heat
don't,
prostration.
we don't, yeah. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
and
we don't want to
let's
say
not
that.
let's
but
all
the-
not
but the
forget
problem is-
also that. Sorry, Allie, go ahead.
No, I said, yeah, we don't want to say that. I know we feel that way, but we don't want to say that. The problem is all the people in the audience. He could kill somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll
He
just
could-
add
he
to
just
his
don't
body
think-
count.
He could kill somebody from Arizona that are having heat strokes already today. That's
Allie,
his
he
problem,
didn't care
is that-
during COVID.
Yeah.
He didn't
Yeah,
care during
exactly.
COVID. He put people together and killed tons of people. Look at what's his name,
Yeah.
the 999 guy that was running for office, the pizza dude. Why can't I think of his name?
I don't know.
And he died.
Yeah.
He died of COVID.
Yeah, he
The guy
died
was
at the
on
rally.
his team, if I remember.
Yeah,
correctly.
wasn't it Kane? Wasn't Kane the
Yes,
black guy
Kane.
that caught
Herman
COVID
Cain.
and died?
Herman Cain.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, and then when he gets interviewed by a British person, he goes, "It is what it is." I was like, "What the?"
That was the most infuriating thing when he said it is what it is about COVID. Oh, it is what it is.
It's a very New York thing. Not that I ever want to say Trump is right, whatever, but that's a very New
Wow.
York thing because I do that myself.
Well, what about
You know,
what
when
about the
there's
fact
something
that
that I just
what
can't
about the
handle.
fact that what about the fact that Trump caught it and would have died if he hadn't been president? What about the fact that Rudy caught it? What about the fact that Chris Christie caught it? Remember all the super spreader events he was having during COVID?
Well,
yeah.
that's why we call her Amy COVID Barrett, because when he announced that she was going to be the new SCOTUS, everybody there got sick.
I was going to say it was like 100 people got
Yeah.
sick.
And the worst one was he did the fucking debate with Biden knowing full fucking well he had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least he wasn't spitting like he was yesterday. Holy schmoly. Hal was right again. Now,
I heard he
now
looked
for
like a
12
rabid
hours,
dog.
everybody's showing the videos with Trump with all the spittle and stuff. Trump felon, I should say.
Yeah.
It's gross.
They were saying that like he's
Like
getting
him
these
out.
crusty things around his mouth, and it's from
Yeah.
they're saying it's from like being on drugs, or you could have rabies, or you could have like all this
Or
stuff.
or he could have fluid in his lungs.
Yeah.
You know,
Jesus.
that'll cause you to foam at the mouth too.
Yeah, because, and I hate to say it because I know so many, I caught COVID. I had it for a month. Thank God I had the boosters Because even the doctor said if you didn't have the boosters, you'd be in the hospital or dead right now.
Sure. They could have long COVID.
You know?
Simple.
I had it for 30 days. Luckily, the last week they said you're not going to infect anybody. You know, so
Thank
you can
the
relax on
goddess
that, you
I
know?
did not catch it because I was in the middle of all that cancer mess, and let me
Yeah.
tell you something.
Yeah.
I hid from everybody. I didn't give a damn. I was like, you are not killing me. Nope.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye.
No, but I'm also saying about, long COVID too.
Yeah,
I mean,
oh, yeah,
Trump
no,
is
it's
so
awful.
dumb, he doesn't even know he might even have long COVID.
Allie Osher is on the phone, people. That's who's on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the long COVID, we don't even know enough about it yet. We still don't know. And it's still out there. And it,
Eventually, there'll be a lawsuit on late night TV about, did you catch COVID in 2020? You have a
Oh, yeah,
suit,
eventually. Yeah, eventually.
seriously, that's
Yeah.
how it'll end up.
there should be a
Like
class action lawsuit against him for sure. For negligent
Well,
homicide.
unfortunately, there was a outbreak at the beginning of February in 2020 in Massachusetts. So it's amazing that I haven't heard, because it was like a little mini convention, a little mini conference, and I guess like more than 15 people got infected, but they didn't realize they had COVID. But it was like a conference, and almost everybody that was there got infected.
Well, look at that.
So,
Was it a nursing home that got shut down because
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
literally everybody caught COVID? And this was before it
Yeah,
was
there
all
was
over
there were also cases in Chelsea, Massachusetts. A lot of veterans caught
Yeah.
COVID because
Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't realize how that's the other thing that I get mad at MTG for yelling at Fauci for. This isn't a movie or Star Trek where they know the cure before you get the disease. That's not the way it works in the real world, And the thing is, people forget about how everybody was scared because they didn't know what it was, and was it this, and was it that, and it wasn't until almost June that people started, coming up with a game plan. I mean, even I knew when I heard that story about the Biogen conference where everybody got infected, I said, oh no, if it was more than 13 people, and if this thing is as virulent, they might infect another 10 people to say the least. And then what about if that goes further? And so even I knew in 2020, I said something's coming. Remember Hal said too that something was coming, and I said, oh man,
Yeah.
better
Hal knew. There was only a few casters that knew and said something is coming. We got to fucking watch out. There was people who were posting, who were doctors on the internet, who were like, this is coming. It's going to come to the States. Get ready. And I was like, at that point, I'd already stocked up on toilet paper and canned goods and some food, so that, we weren't, when it really hit, that we weren't just strapped. And so, yeah, I mean, it's funny how they want it to go down the rabbit hole of memory. They want a rabbit hole COVID. They want a rabbit hole Jan 6. These are this is real fucking shit. We are still traumatized by it. Literally.
I was going to say, we have PTSD, and a lot of people have forgotten what it was like because they blocked it off. So I have posts, how like on Facebook, you get the memories. And whenever I see something that had to do with 4 years ago, I make sure that I forward that. So, to remind people, hey, this is what we were doing 4 years ago.
Right.
This is what life looked like.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when they were dumb enough. I said, thank God the Republicans are dumb. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? COVID?
Yeah.
COVID,
Yes.
hello.
Very
Hello.
much so.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I can pay my
just like
bills
when,
and not stress.
Yeah, just like when remember when Trump was having all these, it's a war on the virus, it's a war on COVID.
Right.
And I looked at the TV and said, hey, with you around, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
We're going to lose bigly.
God, he's such an asshole.
Remember, and then the Lysol and all that shit. I was like, please, somebody kick him off the TV for a month. Please.
Well, thanks for calling in, Allie. We love you, honey. Take
All right.
care.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right.
Take care, Allie.
So we got all on top of all the other numbers. We got the 34 felony counts, the 2 impeachments, the 64 lost cases when he tried to overturn the election. Oh, and I added here the 1,200 people that went to jail for him. And now we're 54 counts out. So we got 54
you forgot
more
the
to go.
partridge in the pear tree.
Which one is that one? Oh.
Partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, just which one is that one?
I don't know, just pick one.
Well, the thing about
It's
it
definitely
is,
not Lords of
too,
Leaping.
is now it's been confirmed that that the Georgia case, they have totally fucked that up in a major goddamn way. The second attempt now to get the Georgia hearing, the second attempt to disqualify Fani Willis will begin on October 4th. So there's no goddamn way that case is going to go through.
Right. And that's precisely what they were doing it for. They don't give a shit. They don't think that she shouldn't be on the case. It's just a way to
delay.
Delay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
July 11th, we've got his sentencing. On the 15th of July, we have not only the Republican convention, but the Epstein tapes are supposed to be released on July 15th.
Jesus. Hey, how come you're 5 eggs tonight, sis?
Am I 5 eggs?
You're 5 eggs.
I'm 5 eggs in the Zoom call.
Yeah, I just looked at him like,
yeah.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Sorry.
I'm only 5 eggs in the Zoom call for right now. So then, I love Keith Olbermann. I do. I love Keith Olbermann with the heat of
I miss him on TV every night. I miss him.
1,000 Suns. But he's like convicted felon, Donald Trump. And he's like, by the way, keep saying that. Every time you say his name, convicted felon, Donald Trump,
right.
Convicted felon, Trump,
Criminal.
Trump, convicted felon. Keep using all those words together. And now it's pissing off the right, like to no extent. It's so beautiful. So Keith Olbermann goes, he's 0 for 5. Yeah. He's guilty in his corporation on 17 felonies. He's guilty in the first E. Jean Carroll for sexual abuse and defamation, and he's guilty in the second E. Jean Carroll for more defamation and at $89 million in liability, and he's guilty in a civil fraud case for $355 million in liability, and that number keeps ticking up. The interest on that number, it's like almost $500,000. And now he's got 34 felonies. So he's got 34 felonies in one case. This is all good news if we could just get these other cases to trial, but I don't see that happening.
It's not going to happen before the election. It's just not. So I heard tell, this was probably about a month or so ago, that Smith has an option to like drop some of the information, do a almost like a press conference and lay out what his argument is, okay, against Trump. And I guess there's a way that he can do it. So I have a feeling if Cannon pushes him back much further, he's just going to do whatever that little magical thing is.
Yeah, Cannon wants to bring in these third parties that have nothing to do with the case so they can just wail on and on and on about misinformation and just bore everybody to fucking tears. No,
but it's not in front of the jury, right?
I don't know.
That's only in front of the judge.
I think it's only in front of the judge.
Yeah.
Because there is no jury seated.
No, not yet. No. But it's true.
Yeah, hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe,
Deadline
you guys.
passed.
We are doing a special show this afternoon.
Because we're all special.
With MOMZ, RUSSO, SPYKIN, and I'm Diane Russell. I know HBO was supposed to be on, but just didn't happen that way today. So
Right. You got to roll with it, baby.
And Mike Johnson, that little fucking weasel, man, I want to flick him from the fucking planet. Literally like a bug, just like, psh.
Red Ron.
This little motherfucker going.
Red Ron.
Yeah, this little motherfucker going, SCOTUS should step in, and I'm friends with them all. And then he tried to retract it and go backwards and like, oh, I'm not that close, but You should not have the Speaker of the fucking House talking to the Supreme Court about ongoing criminal cases. You fucking pieces of shit. It's illegal.
They don't care. Who's
I
gonna
know they
stop
don't
them?
care. Well, that's the thing. Where's fucking Merrick Garland on this one?
But I don't know if there's anything he could do to stop it.
Well, Merrick Garland does have. There's a thing on Keith Olbermann the other day where Jamie Raskin found it, and
I love Jamie.
yeah,
Oh my God.
but Keith
Can I just say
Olbermann
that?
read it on a show, and it was about how there is a thing in the Constitution, but all the justices have to agree with it. All the other 7 justices have to agree that Alito and Thomas need to recuse.
Okay.
But
That's likely
Merrick Garland
gonna
has to
happen.
start it, has to write the letter.
Congress has to start it.
Oh, I thought Merrick Garland has to write the letter to the other 7 justices. They have to agree. Then they can force Alito and Thomas to recuse. But it's
Yes, they should, but it's not going to happen. I wish to God it would.
I know. Well, that's the only way I know how to do it.
Yeah.
And that was a good clip. It was on. I didn't write down the episode. It was on. Not yesterday's. It's got to be the day before's episode. Tuesday's episode.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday's episode. Yeah. So that was a good episode that I highly suggest that everybody listen to. Also, this kind of squeaked underneath the radar because we got Trump's conviction. And convicted felon Dinesh D'Souza, executive producer of the and publisher of 2000 Mules movie, said it's all BS and pulled the film from circulation. Yeah, he said in court that every single accusation made in the movie was totally invented out of thin air by Dinesh and True the Vote.
The big problem is they're not. They've already had it embedded.
Yeah, damage is already
They're not-
done.
What's that?
The damage is already done.
Yeah, yeah.
It's no different than a retraction in a newspaper. Nobody will pay attention to it. The people who need
And
to
it's-
pay attention to it won't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Right, and it's always on the back page instead of front page where it started.
Well, again, with all of Trump's crimes, everything's getting back page to it. His trial, everything, we got day to day, from the fucking news station all day.
Shenanigans.
Oh my God. Oh, he's farting and he's fucking falling asleep. And his lawyers have to nudge him awake. And he's like, "Rah." I mean, come on. The guy is such a fucking piece of shit. He's such a criminal. But, that's why
They just need to put Paw in a nursing home.
no, they need
It's
to.
time.
Yep.
They need to pin his ears back for this one.
Because you suck.
I have like kind of bigger hopes. I know a lot of people say he's not going to go to jail. I don't think he's going to go to jail, prison, like real prison. He'll be in like one of those country club. They'll give him like 6
Club
months in a
Fed.
country club.
Like Danny Masterson.
God, wouldn't it be
Yeah.
great? Because then he'll miss the fucking election.
I just want him to have to serve like a week in the local jail for the gag order violations, so that he would have to give his acceptance speech from prison or from jail.
So,
I would
I
love
don't-
that.
I don't think he's going to do jail time before the election. I think that
Get suspended.
well, I think they're trying to play it so far above board that they won't give MAGA that excuse. He
Right.
lost because he was in prison. He lost because you put him in prison. That they
Right.
won't give that to him. They'll wait until he loses the election and then they'll put him in prison.
Well, they can always do a suspended sentence where they
Mm-hmm.
hand out the sentence, but he doesn't have to serve it until X date,
Right.
So January
But
20th.
So
I don't
that's
think
July.
they'll even do that.
Oh wait,
I think that would actually ignite his base even more so, even if they gave him a suspended sentence and said he didn't have to serve until after the election.
I hear
I
ya.
think they're trying to ensure that they hold him accountable without inflaming his base, and that's a very, very, very fine line to walk.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're doing a really good job of it so far.
I know,
Yeah,
but
I mean, they
when
still
they
complain.
when they're already they want to fucking out all the jurors. They're doxing them. We're gonna come and execute you. They've been doing this shit for a long time. These people who threaten, I don't know if they're keyboard warriors or if they're real. You know what I mean? That's the other problem, is that you don't know they're
Well, one
taking
of the
them too
guys who
seriously.
just got out of jail posted on his social media a picture of Alan Bragg on one side and a picture of a noose on the other side, and said, "Traitors get the rope, January 20th, 2025." Disgusting.
Yeah,
Fucking disgusting.
yeah, 100%.
They just don't care what they say anymore. They don't give a shit. So, and I personally think that should be maybe breaking some kind of probationary type thing that he has post sentence.
That's a threat.
Because I mean,
he
he's
has.
only been out for like a week or so.
That's a threat.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he's already violated his probation. Already.
I would say, and then those other two assholes showing up at Fauci's hearing,
oh my God.
sitting behind Fauci.
At least they got kicked out. That's the good news.
Which one? Both of them?
They both got kicked out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part of the story.
Yeah,
So,
nobody hears that
that's
part
good
of the
news.
story, but they did get kicked out. Yeah, they weren't there for the second half. They were there in the morning. How they got in, though, they should not be even allowed in.
Well, if they don't recognize the face, but somebody else recognizes it and says something to them,
Well, and it's a
And- and
public hearing. So
Right.
the public is allowed to attend. However, they can remove you if you're disruptive to the hearing. So basically, that's what they did.
got
They let them.
removed for
They
you.
waited to see if they'd be disruptive, and then they kicked them out for it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
He's
how you got to
violated
play
her.
ball with these assholes. Let them
Mhm.
walk right into that rake, just move it over a little bit. If they're looking like they might miss it, just shove it over a little, make sure they step on that motherfucker hard. So, I'm sorry. Am I being violent again? The meds aren't working.
Yeah, and I mean, no, and it's clear now that we know that the Supreme Court is pretty much an arm of the Trump campaign for what they're doing for him. They're putting off the immunity case, and I don't know. It's really fucking disgusting to see what's happened to the fucking Supreme Court. Literally no ethics, don't give two shits, no checks and balances on them. I don't know what else we can do, but except for that one thing that Jamie Raskin came up with, but we'll see what happens there. I loved this. Hillary Clinton in 2016. She said, when the FBI was looking at my emails and they found that there was no case, he called the FBI was rigged. When he lost the Wisconsin and the Iowa caucuses, he said the Republican primary was rigged. When his fake university was sued for fraud and racketeering, he said the courts were rigged. When he didn't get an Emmy for his Apprentice, for The Apprentice, he claimed the Emmys were rigged. Every time it's rigged. Wah, wah, wah. Crybaby, crybaby. This motherfucker. And that was in 2016.
Yeah.
Listen to every time. It's a rig. It's a hoax. It's a witch hunt. Same playbook from these motherfuckers. It never changes.
He probably said the same thing about paternity tests. So,
Oh, yeah.
saying.
Paternity test. It's rigged. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, and then all this Russian money, all this Russian connections. You got Epic Times CFO was indicted for laundering Americans unemployment benefits at the tune of $67 million, and I'll put it in fucking Trump's fund. McConnell's aide was convicted for funneling Russian money to Trump. Deutsche Bank was laundering Russian money for Trump, and the NRA was laundering money to help Trump. GOP is nothing but a criminal
The
laundromat.
Russians were just paying for ads and shit on his Facebook with rubles.
Yeah.
And they got found out. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember
was
that.
back in
Why the fuck was
2016.
that ever allowed? That's the
know.
thing. It's astonishing when we look back. How was this even allowed? Now we know that there's a law that needs to be made against that. Now we know there's a law that needs to be made against that. That was the one thing I always say about Donald Trump's presidency. It showed us where all those loopholes are, where we need to make a law on that. You got to show your tax returns. You want to run?
It's just like at a job. You fuck up enough, eventually they won't give you that job anymore. But they'll still pay you. They'll just keep you over here and keep you busy. So you don't fuck shit up.
Yeah, no,
That's terrible. Sorry.
He should not have been allowed to run. He can't pass a security clearance test.
Exactly.
There's no fucking way. And if you can't pass security clearance, I don't think you should be president of the United States. It has to be more than, you got to be 35 and a citizen.
Well, they gave Jared a security clearance, even though they didn't
Took it
want
away.
to. He
They
overrode them.
Yeah, they took it away and then gave it back.
So,
He overrode
he
it.
overrode him. So, because he's just that kind of piece of shit.
I know.
Did I say that out loud? I think that's the Tourette's.
It's all right.
So,
Wow, it's very nice.
very nice.
Oh, and also, I don't think people realize this motherfucker has been more in a courtroom than I think he's ever been on a fucking golf course. Well, that could be comparable.
I was going to say, maybe not a golf course.
Yeah.
Maybe the office.
Yeah. Trump has been involved in 4,000 plus lawsuits before he ever rode down the escalator in 2015. He's not illegal. He's not in legal trouble because he's running for president. He's running for president to escape his legal troubles. I know we know
100%.
that. But to realize all 4,000 lawsuits, do you know what a fucking asshole you have to be litigated against or litigate that much?
Think about how much money that costs.
The state of New
Just
York.
in lawyers.
Yeah.
It's not even filing fees and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Just in lawyers.
In a lot of those cases, he settled.
Yeah.
Because he knew he couldn't win. Or he just never paid them and just said, I'm never going to pay you, so.
Right. Pulled an Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what
That's fucking crazy.
That's what he did with Stormy Daniels. That's what he did with Michael Cohen. And Michael Cohen's like, it's years later. It's like 10 years later. I still haven't gotten my fucking money from this. Imagine the $130,000. And if you just had $130,000 in a bank and you never touch it and it had good interest, the money you'd have after. Jesus.
I know. Well, here's the thing. You don't know the woman. You never met her. Maybe she made coffee. You know how it is. And suddenly you're paying her $130,000. I don't know how that works, but
Yeah, and like Michael Cohen's doing it out of the kind of his heart.
but
then he's a liar?
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Not
so-
in New York. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not in New York. Maybe in Wisconsin or something, but not in New York.
No, and literally the just the number, and how about the state of New York? Because I'm sure a lot of those cases were in New York, and the state of New York, the time and money it cost the state of New York to put on those fucking cases.
Most, I would venture a guess at almost all of those were in New York rather than Florida.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, and just, heads up, everybody. It's been 755 days since Jim Jordan has defied his subpoena. 755 days.
I'd like to see him get Scott Bannon for for ignoring the subpoena.
Steve Bannon?
Yeah, is that what I said? What did I
You
say?
said Scott Bannon.
Motherfucker piece of shit.
Yeah. So, listen, motherfucker, you can go ahead and subpoena everybody and be a total fucking douche and not wear a jacket and your yellow tie and act like a fucking ignoramus up there, because literally have literally made yourselves out to look like fucking fools. All the Republicans have. They look so fucking dumb up there. I can't even believe they would even allow this shit to be on camera. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
MPG just makes an idiot out of herself every time she opens her mouth.
Well, but I think she does that on purpose. I
yeah.
think that she
Clickbait.
is actually there to distract.
Yeah.
She's there to distract us, but she's there to ignite them. So notice how she always goes into Congress and shows her ass the day after something happens to Donald Trump, or the
Right.
day after something happens to someone high up in the Republican Party. It's almost always happens that way. Almost always.
Right. It's like clockwork.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
They've also become very predictable. Very predictable. You know what
Right.
they're going to say. You know what they're going to do. And I don't think we should be catering to the fucking MAGA crowd. Fuck them. They want to revolt. They want to have another insurrection. We have the cops will get arrested again. And they'll all go to fucking jail again.
I think this
And-
time they should
and-
have guns like they did when the Black Lives Matter protests came around.
Yeah.
And the government will actually be more equipped for it this time. Last time they didn't take them seriously, and we found out the hard way they should have.
Right.
And now they will be more prepared for it. I mean, they're already tracking them on various social media sites. They're watching the increased talk of violence and threats against judges, against prosecutors, against the DOJ, against the FBI. They're watching every bit of it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're waiting.
Yeah.
They're waiting for them to step out. Some of them have been told, some of the MAGA have been told, don't act out because that's what they want you to do. But I
Right.
guarantee you most of them won't listen.
Right.
Well, get a 6-pack of beer in them and
Yeah.
send them off and see what kind of trouble they can get into.
Well,
Yeah.
I was listening to this chick that was on Really American with that Chip Franklin dude and Frank Flagluzzi, and she had written an article about how she's been studying radical groups on Facebook mostly.
Right.
And she goes, in the last 6 months, 900. Last 6
Did
months,
hear.
900 right-wing radical groups have been popping up all over Facebook. And we don't know exactly where they're coming from. You can't really tell. You know what I mean? Oh, sure, I'm Joe from Idaho, but I'm really Russian. You know? You know what I mean? Like, whatever. So, I don't know. I don't know if they're Russian bots or whatever, and they're just stoking it. But the other thing is they're like, well, you know, why do they even go to Facebook? And one of these idiots said the quiet part out loud. Well, we go to Facebook to recruit, but then we go to Telegram to make our plans. So they can't be read and they can't be tracked.
It's literally a requirement that they have to have a Telegram
Yes.
account
Yes.
once they're recruited.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you the alphabets know how to read those posts.
Well,
so they've got a way in.
Not only that, but if they're putting the reporting out now that they're watching this stuff and they're following this stuff, we have to take that with the grain of salt that says this is what we're telling you, but we're doing way much more behind the
Right.
scenes that we can't tell you. But this is
Right.
what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we should know everything personally. And I'm coming
No.
from a military family.
Well,
You
yeah.
know, there are just some things we don't need to know.
For sure, there's
Right.
things that need to stay secret, and Donald Trump stole all of them and brought them to fucking Mar-a-Lago, and God
Yeah.
knows what the fuck he's done with them since then.
You know, I have a stupid question. All right. Why, when they raided Mar-a-Lago, when they did the search and seizure at Mar-a-Lago, did they not do it at the multiple sites? Why didn't they do that? Because we already knew that.
I know the answer to this, and I'm not a
Okay, go
lawyer,
ahead.
and I know
Good,
the
'cause I don't-
answer, because they have to have a current witness say, I know there are classified documents there right now.
Got it.
They never got that with Bedminster, Doral, or one of these other fucking places, right? Or Trump Tower. They never
So they
got
get
it
to
with
play
that.
hide the sausage, is what it is.
Well, there's so many fucking people. Look at it. You can't tell me there's a cleaning lady there or a janitor that works there, or a guy who takes out the goddamn trash who's like, what the fuck are all these classified documents? I shouldn't be seeing this.
They won't say anything because they're all undocumented workers.
Yeah, well, it got to them it got to the FBI somehow.
You'd think, but these guys are terrified to say boo, because you have all kinds of employers that take their passport or their ID from wherever they came from and hold it so that if they fuck up, you know, or talk out about them and the mistreatment of them, they'll just turn them into ICE. And it's disgusting, but that's how they trap them.
Well, yeah.
It's like an abusive
I
relationship.
totally know. Yeah, I know. I totally know what you mean. But somebody had to leak that information to the FBI, and they had to have it from more than one source. So you got multiple sources coming out of Mar-a-Lago saying there's a shit ton of fucking classified documents there. Somebody needs to do something about it. You know? And it's in the bathroom.
Might take a look.
Can you imagine going to the bathroom like that and being like, oh, opening a box and just going, nothing but red, confidential, all folders, like property of the United States government. Like, holy shit. Like, my eyes should not even be seeing this shit right now. And then the photocopier right there next to the boxes of all the fucking glasses. Oh my God.
It just happened to be there.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Yes.
Damn it.
Like, you know, and then, you know, all of our spies around the world are dropping dead because of him.
Yeah, imagine that. Just out of the blue. You know, the worst part is my son is not a MAGA, but he is former military. And sadly, they pump Fox News into their brains 24/7. And that's why it's on in all the VFWs as well. So he's this hippie's child who ended up turning into a full-on Republican. Okay. And so holidays are lots of fun. But he, you know, even he is hearing this stuff and believing it. And he had training to not believe bullshit.
Yeah.
So what the fuck, you know? That's why I worry that there's something. All right, here, I'm going to go off on a little side tangent here.
Go for
that
it.
There's something more at play, because I'm very spiritual and I'm very, I believe in ghosts and all that shit. And you can laugh at me if you like, but having met a few, I believe in them. But I honestly think there's something more at play, because how did this guy get away with this shit for so many years when other people who have the same, you know, let's take Bernie Madoff, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, just as an example, you know, somebody was within his supposed tax bracket. Okay?
Well, Bernie Madoff stole money from rich people.
Right.
Donald Trump has made a lifetime out of stealing money from poor people.
Correct.
So,
but nobody
From
gives
people
a
who
fuck.
can't fight back.
Yeah, people who
can't fight back.
Yeah.
Right. All right. That's really the answer. They can't fight back.
Well, that's why the 5/8? The 5/8 with Greg Olear in Lincoln's Bible. I keep trying to remember her real name. It's Stephanie Koff or something like that. So anyway, they were going through all of his criminal activity, and she believes that when Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani was mayor of New York, or no, when he was the attorney general of the Southern District of New York, and they were prosecuting all the Italian mob, that they had a deal with the feds. We won't prosecute you as long as you guys keep handing me the John Gottis of the world. And that could be very possible, because he literally cleaned up the Italian mafia out of New York so the Chinese and the Russians could move in.
Mm-hmm.
And
because there's no Little Italy left. There's like maybe a block, and it's all Chinese and Russian. And the last time I was there was probably 8 years ago, and it was that bad 9 years ago.
Yeah.
So
During his presidency, he had nothing but pregnant Russian women coming to the United States to have their babies in the United States and then go back to fucking Russia. So that their kids are now United States citizens. This is a really fucked up situation.
nobody believes it, and I can't fathom it. Just like I can't fathom evangelicals following him like they did, like he's the second coming. And or anybody that's LGBTQIA that would follow him. You're insane. You're out of your mind. If you're like one of those, what is it, the Lincoln Democrats or Lincoln Republicans or something like that, they're all gay. Log cabin, thank you.
Log cabin Republicans.
Right. And
Lincoln Project.
I just don't get it because they're so Republicans are anti everything that those people are.
You see this in bad television.
Well, I just feel like if that's true and he's got to deal with the feds, that's why he's gotten away with all these fucking crimes for so long. Because, well, how about mainstream media? Mainstream media is like now owned by like 6 fucking dudes or 9 fucking people or whatever it is. And, they would not dig into his past. When we knew all this shit, you grew up in New York. You said, I know all about Donald Trump from the 70s. Like, what did you hear when you were growing up? I mean, he was a playboy. He was divorced.
A playboy. He was a piece of shit. He built, like, there's a group of buildings that was known as Lefrak City, Lefrac. Lefrak City, it was in New York City, and it was all low-income housing, and it was a mess. Okay, and that's what he was doing, was getting involved in some of that low-income housing. But when it came to his buildings, that's when he did the whole thing where he would write C on the application, so that they would remember later, oh no, that one's colored, we can't, I hate that fucking word. But anyway, so we can't rent to that one, that kind of shit. And then, the whole
well, the casinos.
Because, oh God, the casinos, what a joke. I'll tell you what, I may have told this story before. There used to be like a rest area. I think it might have been on the Taconic Parkway, which is like right in the middle between New Jersey and New York. And it was named after him, but it's just like the road signs. You have to take care of them. Well, he never took care of it, and shit fell down. It was all dilapidated. There was homeless people camping in there. It was a complete wreck.
Right.
And they went in, cleaned it up, and made it disappear before he ran for office.
Huh.
So that people couldn't go videotape it and say, oh, this is, because there was still a sign there that
this
had
is
his
how
name
he
on it.
takes care of his properties. How the fuck do you think he's going to take care of our country? And look at what he's done. Look at the fucking mess he's created.
How many people are dead? Because this motherfucker. So, but I have people on my Facebook and on my threads all day long telling me I'm wrong, telling me I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like, dude, if you're from the city, you saw it on page 6 all the fucking time.
Yeah.
The New York Post, page 6 was where all the gossip was. And there's a lot of gossip and a lot of celebrities in New York. So, and he strived to get on page 6. Would call in pretending he was John Barron.
David Dennison.
David Dennison.
We know his fucking John Barron. We know his fucking aliases from back then.
And they did too. They knew who it was.
Mainstream media knew all about this. For fuck's sake, New York Times wrote all about it. Everybody was writing about it in real papers, not just the fucking National Enquirer.
Right. And fuck those guys. I always thought they were such pieces of shit. And to know that they were doing that catch and kill.
Tony just mentioned Forbes. Forbes magazine with the top top 500 richest people or whatever it is, and he would always try to get in there, and he would give the fake phone calls to them saying, oh yeah, this is John Barron and Donald Trump is super rich and everybody loves him. God.
That's initially why he started lying about the size of his apartment in Trump Tower, because Oprah's apartment in whatever tower it is she lives in Chicago
Yeah.
was X size, and he had to have it 1,000 bigger than hers. You know what I mean?
It's not Sears, it's the other one.
Hola.
It's at the Sears
Call
Tower.
from
Liberal Dan.
Hi, Liberal Dan.
Liberal Dan.
Yes, what's going on?
See, I got the call-in feature working. Aren't you proud of me?
I am very proud. I'm super proud of y'all for getting that done, and I'm glad I could help.
Thank you so much. You did help.
If Blog Talk Radio crashes that again, I might have to start doing it myself. So it's a good thing I know it works.
You should. It's nice to be able to call in, and even if later the girls or HBL or whatever gets so big that they don't have time for us little guys anymore. We'll still have been here back in the early times on the telephone, calling over Google phone.
No, I like it too much. I don't think I'd ever get rid of this feature. I'm having way too much fun with it, Dan. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I don't know if you heard last night, but last night I just figured out that I'm already going to be in Dallas the same weekend that Hal's going to be with Nerd Halen. So I just secured my table to go see Hal there. So I'm very excited about that.
I'm so jealous.
That's good news.
So jealous.
That should be fun.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to post a video of us
to...
both together, at least a brief one. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, my husband got me sexy liberal tickets to Atlanta because we're on our way up north during that time. So he timed it so that we drive through Atlanta, stop, see the show, stay overnight. And I was like, woo! So now I gotta pull in the credit card so I can get the meet and grope.
Yeah. Tony and I wanted to get tickets for the January 18th show in DC. But
that would be cool.
It was going to cost us like $1,000. And we were just like, we just can't swing it right now.
The ticket prices are, I know she said that they're cheaper, but not so much for me.
For a hotel and then flights, and then we got to figure out what we're going to do with our cats. And you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. And not only that, well, we wanted to do it just because it was going to be after the election. We would know the results by then, and we'd all be very happy or very fucking suicidal.
Yeah, pretty much.
I hope we're happy.
And I've got to go. I've got to go like when he goes to Dallas or when he goes to Atlanta. That's the only time I really see him, because I doubt it'll ever be in New Orleans, because New Orleans has really weird policies on like taxes for music venues, and like if you don't fit a particular window, like of super small or really big, groups don't come. So I don't know what that means for Nerd Halen, but yeah, we usually end up having to travel to go see almost every band we want to see. And New Orleans is supposed to be a city with music and everything, and they're not very friendly to kind of small to mid-range musicians.
Right. Or outsiders, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Right.
Unless you're like, Taylor Swift or somebody like that. She could probably go in there, but
Oh yeah, she's coming here. I mean, we've had the big ones. The big ones will come. We had the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
They added a day to Jazz Fest for the Rolling Stones just for them, and like the tickets were like triple the price of a normal Jazz Fest ticket, but like people were lined up just outside of the gates just to hear them, just to listen to them live, because that was that may be the last chance they have. I fortunately got to see them at the Superdome when they came in the last time, so I got that off my bucket list. But
nice. A couple of years ago, I saw Santana and Doobie Brothers doubleheading up at Saratoga Performing Arts Center up in upstate New York. It was such a good concert.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, doesn't matter how old Santana is, he plays it and it sounds just like the LP.
Right.
Just like it. Oh, I just showed my age. Sounds just like the CD or the download.
It's nice when you can play it when they play it and it's like what you remember. Sometimes it's interesting to hear musicians do like different takes on their music, but sometimes it's just all right. Stop being artsy and give us what we came to pay for.
That was Prince's problem. I've seen Prince many times, and that was his problem. He'd get jazzy or he'd get whatever with songs. Some of them it worked out, but a lot of them it was like, I just really want you to play it the regular way.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, I noticed like during his concerts too, he can't even really sing it because everybody else is singing it, and so he'll like mess with the time.
Right.
But I only got to see Prince once, and every time I
but at
tried,
least you
it
got
was
to see
sold
him
out.
once.
I know. Every time I tried, it was sold out. I was so bummed every time.
See, I went. This was back in the day when you used to have to go to the stadium or wherever they were playing and sit out in a line, right?
Yeah.
And I was always there like 3 days ahead of time. I don't give a shit. Cold, I didn't care. I was out there getting my Prince tickets. Come hell or high water. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have a few bucket lists left that I'd like to be able to do. A couple of them are gone already, so I can't. But one of the better ones recently was when Paul McCartney came through a few years back here in New Orleans. I think it was right before COVID, and that was an amazing concert.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that was fabulous.
And if I want to see any other, if I want to see any other Beatles, it would have to be Ringo. So that's all we got left, Paul and Ringo.
Yeah. And Ringo's sad. I don't know. He's okay.
I think Ringo would be a fun
a decent
concert.
drummer.
I don't know how much money I would spend on Ringo. I'd spend more money on Paul than on Ringo.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Who?
Like, one of my favorite lines, I think, when they asked John Lennon, I was like, is Ringo the best drummer you know? And he's like, Ringo's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Liberal Dan, do you know who Ringo's brother-in-law is?
Who? Who?
The guy who destroyed hotels. Tony, I thought you had the answer. You can't say the guy who destroyed hotels. They were all rockers.
That's like all of them.
Jesus.
Let's start with Ozzy.
The Glenn Fry? Joe Walsh? Joe Walsh.
Oh, Joe Walsh.
From the Eagles. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Their brother-in-law.
Very interesting.
That's kind of weird. Tony, you can't ask a question like that and not know the answer right off the top of your head.
Yeah, you gotta have that shit up on the screen.
I mean, the weirdest stuff is like how, like, one of the few like other people to play on a Beatles song was Eric Clapton played the guitar on "Why My Guitar Gently Weeps," and then I think George's wife left him for Eric Clapton, so it's kind of like, that's kind of strange.
There's
some
incest
Invite him over
going
to
on
your
in the
house.
70s between bands and in Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, that Fleetwood Mac concert, that video where she's just staring at him the entire time, like, I know what you did, and I'm gonna make you suffer for it too. That's just amazing. Like, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna play guitar and you're gonna listen to me sing about you and how horrible you are, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah, because you're under contract, bitch, because we got a record deal.
Oh,
That's
God.
hilarious. Well, thanks, Liberal Dan, for calling in. I really appreciate it. And thanks for all your advice in trying to get the call-in feature.
You're welcome. I told you I was going to try to do it a couple weeks ago when we first talked about it, but I was really I think we're busy packing for Atlanta that weekend, and I didn't have the ability to do it, so I just wanted to give y'all a ring and say I'm proud of y'all and y'all doing great, and I wish people need to subscribe much more to y'all to get you up to partner, because y'all deserve it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Let's
it.
hear everybody thumbs up or subscribe. Come on now.
Yeah, and Liberal Dan, when are you going to be on next? When are you? We'll give it, shout out to your show.
Unless anything big happens, it's just going to be Monday night, 8 p.m. Central on liberaldanradio.com, which is the YouTube link, or on Twitch.tv/liberaldanradio. And I think we need 20 more. we need 20 more to get to the next level of partner. And I kept saying it was because it let me get a little more ad revenue. In order for me to get customized little like congratulations loyalty badges, in order for me to upload those, I need to get to 1,000 as well. So that's the more important thing.
Right.
Being able for me to upload customizable loyalty badges, I need to get 20 more subs. So share away.
All
and
right.
I can get those badges up and running.
I'm sure there's 20 people who can go over there who I'm already subscribed to you. So I'm sure there's 20 more people here who can go over there and subscribe to your channel right now so you can get there. And Tony's got 10 accounts just by himself. So we'll get you there, dude.
I got 3.
But you know,
I lost count of the amount of counts that I don't know if I have 10, but I know I have one that I use for ride sharing. I had a Disney blog once. I have that YouTube channel. I have our family's Google account has basically I was like, okay, well, let me just create a YouTube channel for that one too. There's another sub, yay. So yeah, I've done a couple of multiples on my end, but at this point, yeah, we're just trying to hit that 1,000 and beyond, and then be able to get people loyalty badges for all the people that are liberal animals and higher. So
yeah, we're on episode 27 and we're at 351 followers. So we need 149 followers to get to 500. So everybody subscribe, share,
smash the like and share. That's the most important thing. Share videos that you like. Do y'all cut up any of your good segments and just put them out there as smaller things too?
Yeah,
that might be better. People need to share those videos as well for all of the creators that you like, be it Hal, me, y'all.
Yeah. Oh.
Boston Brian.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a new one that I found. Everybody just gotta.
Ojeda. Yeah.
Share it because that's the only way we're gonna spread against the idiocy that is trying to threaten us.
And we only have 5 months left, so it's so important we bust our ass the next 5 months and get this shit done.
Yes, absolutely.
Again, thanks for calling in.
Y'all, you have a great night. I appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, honey.
Bye, Dan.
Bye.
Bye, Dan.
That was
listen,
cool.
the last election, I couldn't go out. I was, working on the whole cancer BS. And so what I did was I got involved with the local DNC, and I did phone calls from my bed and just did it that way. Just they have a program that you go to a website and it gives you the name of the person and you verify their address, blah, 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 Do you know who you're going to vote for? Have you registered? And then you let them go, And I had some of the best conversations I've ever had. I had a conversation. Now this is, God, I hope she's still alive. But this is 8 years ago, I think it was, when Hillary was running. And she was about in her 80s at the time. And she told me, black woman, and she told me all these stories about when she was younger. And I wish I could remember all of them. It was amazing. So that too can happen to you. You get to share cool ass stories, while helping out and making sure that people know to check their registrations, which we of course could do, in the app. We could check and make sure and update their registrations, and then just keep checking on it, because these assholes will wait until like a couple of weeks before the ballots get mailed out, and all of a sudden your name drops off the list.
Yeah.
So, watch it.
Yeah, got to absolutely keep our eye on that. And for women, they're making it harder for women. If you have to bring in your birth certificate to fucking vote, guess what? If you're married, your last name on your birth certificate doesn't match your fucking name on your current license. So now you got to bring in your change of name and your marriage license if it's also required to have your birth certificate. So birth certificate, marriage license, change of name.
A lot of DMVs are doing that now, and they give you a card or a star on your license.
Kevin Anderson. To accept, press 1.
Hi, Kevin.
I just like to congratulate you on the show and 54 felonies. I mean, well, East Coast, so we're doing good.
We're doing good. Yep, I think we're doing good. So, Moms, what was that little star that you wanted to show?
Oh, so that little star is here in Florida, and I know they do it in other states. It's something that's nationwide, but your state has to opt in. And you go to the DMV and you show them all of that paperwork, and then you'll get a replacement license that has that star on it, and that star shows that you're a verified person.
Yeah.
It's considered a federal ID. You can use it to get into courthouses and other federal properties.
Right.
Wow.
I think it's called Real ID. I'm not really sure, but that might be just Florida.
Right. Okay.
No, they do it here too. It's Real ID.
I've never heard of that before.
By the way, Medicare here has actually set it up so that you can register to vote when you submit your Medicare renewal.
Nice.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
I was surprised to find that out here.
I don't remember what state are you in?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, so you're down here with me. All right, gotcha.
Yeah. I'm in the state with 2 closeted gay senators. So
yeah.
Come out wherever you are.
Wait, you got
Happy Pride.
You got Miss Lindsay, and who else?
Come on, free mom hugs. I give you
Tim
free mom
Scott.
hugs.
Yeah, how could I forget Tim Scott?
Oh, Uncle Tim.
He's the one who's got the girlfriend in Canada, but you know she lives in Niagara Falls. You haven't met her.
She's from Canada, right?
Do you know what that? You guys remember what that's from?
Oh, I've heard that in so many movies, and in real life. No,
the one I remember it from. No, the one I remember it from was Breakfast Club, where the nerd was like, "I have a girlfriend." Oh, really?
But I remember
she lives
from
in
Brady
Niagara
Bunch.
Falls. You wouldn't know her.
Yeah,
wasn't George Glass from Canada?
Yes.
On the Brady Bunch.
and then Superbad wasn't what's his name, the one with the ID, wasn't his girlfriend from Canada?
Yeah, I don't remember. So what's going on, Kevin? How's it going?
Okay, and just glad that I can help out, and I'm glad that he has 54 felonies on right now.
Oh yeah, we got 54 felonies to go.
Yeah, and I'm glad about that.
The problem is that those cases won't go through until after the election. We know that for sure now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
sadly,
we got to get him on something else. I feel like there's more dirt coming. I don't think we've seen the tip of the iceberg by any means.
It's like a duck, looks nice and steady on the water underneath.
It's going like crazy.
Don Jr.'s on coke.
No,
but
go ahead.
I really do think that Trump is going to get his day of reckoning pretty soon. He's not going to like it.
No.
Here's hoping he gets everything that's coming to him. I'm serious, because he's got a lifetime's worth of bullshit to pay for.
That's why I feel like this sentencing coming up on July 15th, I think it might be a little bit more than we think it is. Yeah. Everybody keeps saying he's never going to go to jail. He's never going to go to prison. He's never going to do this. No. Was it July 11th? Or Yeah, July 11th, 15th is the convention. And maybe the release of the Epstein. Can you imagine if they have the Republican convention and release the Epstein tapes on the same day?
And it's free Slurpee Day. They should make them all orange.
Yeah.
And we can expect MTG to give some sort of distraction after they're released.
Sure.
Also, I remember this one time that I was on the channel Dude last night, and then all of a sudden there's this one guy that called in, and somehow he talked like he was kind of half asleep, but he really said that Trump was doing all these great things, and I don't really care what he's guilty for. He's just great. And here, Sam was just Tom was just trying to be like, what the? I mean, he's trying to stop him and everything, but then, like, somehow wouldn't even listen.
Well, it's hard to defend the indefensible. And when you're that hard-headed and either these Republicans know they're lying, they know the truth, and they're compromised, or they have financial interests like tax cuts, like, Elon Musk and the oil companies and big billionaires to back them for tax cuts reasons. Because, nothing will ever affect them really, regardless of who is in office, except for they don't realize that if Trump gets in office, he's going to be like, okay, you're the oil exec. Okay, well, now you owe me half your profits. And if you don't, I'm going to kill you and your fucking family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's how the mob does it.
Like,
and then either that or the third option is that they're all in a cult and they really believe this bullshit. Those are like the three things that I see.
Keep on telling my dad. It's like I keep on telling my dad that, I mean, all these people who say that, oh, Trump is so great, he has done no wrong, I mean, and all these things. And then I keep on saying, oh, yeah, just wait until if he gets in office, then all of a sudden all these people that vote for him, then all Trump does is like, I don't care for you. I don't care for your family. I don't care for your ancestors or anything. And then all these people will be like,
one thing that's good,
that guy.
And we will be screaming, we told you so. We told you so.
Right.
And not only that, the people who are in the cult, the people who are in the cult, it's so hard for them to believe that they've been duped. But how can you keep believing these conspiracy theories that are so outrageous? And like he's going to be reinstated, reinstalled, the revelations.
Ask anybody who survived Jim Jones. You can't ask anybody who survived the what do you call it? The Halley's Comet, the Hale-Bopp Comet, because all them motherfuckers are dead.
Yeah.
All right. People will believe anything if they have to be. All right. So here's my little psychologist thing, because you had to go through psychology for nursing. Not much of it, but enough to know. It's like they're missing a piece of themselves, and they try to fill it, whether it be with religion or cult or whatever. They're trying to fill an empty spot in their life, and there's no way, like you could say, if you do A, B, C, we can get them out of the cult. It doesn't work like that because they're individuals.
They have to be deprogrammed individually, one by one.
Right. Because some are deep, deep, deep in the hole.
Well,
and some are just on the surface,
Even Scientology. We've all watched, what's her name, Lee Remy or whatever? Yeah.
They tried to kidnap me and my girlfriend when we were in high school. We skipped school and took the train into the city, and we're fucking around in the city, and it was so goddamn hot. And there's like movie houses and stuff all over the place. So these people are like, "Oh yeah, come on in. We'll, we got a movie. It's going to be playing in like 10 minutes. Yada yada." And we're like, "Okay, cool." So the two of us go in there and we sit down, and they took her away from me. So that's when we both started getting nervous. And I can't remember exactly how I got out of there, but I got out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought for years that I was losing my mind, that really didn't happen, until her and I reconnected on Facebook about 8 years, not everything's 8 years, 10 years ago. And I said to her, I sent her a private message and I said, I got to ask this. Did we almost get kidnapped by Scientologists? And she's like, yes, we fucking did. It's like, oh my Jesus. Yeah. So don't wander around New York City midday and just go in and watch a movie. You might get kidnapped. We're also stoned and we didn't give a fuck, but whatever.
Right, yeah.
That'll straighten you right up for sure.
Yeah.
I remember one story about that when I was a kid, that my Dad was still working in his old job, and they had a business trip to New York, and I mean, usually he gets me stuff, and then all of a sudden, he came back from New York, and then I was like, so, did you get me anything? And then he frowned and he said, sadly, the only thing I could find is this Hot Wheels car this kid just left on the street, and that's all I could find. So here you go. And then I'm like, yikes.
At least he thought
Oh,
of you.
Scientology. Okay. My sister in Scientology, I had to end my relationship after her cult was 100% for Trump. So, yeah, the thing about Scientologists is that the Scientologists are doing exactly what MAGA is doing and how to radicalize people. They take you away from your family because you don't really get along with them. Like you're the only Republican in a Democratic family or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or vice versa. And they now they become friends with you and they share their cat videos with you and they do this, and then boom, all this shit comes at you like a million miles an hour, and they're trying to indoctrinate you.
That's how it happened with Q.
Yeah, absolutely. With this whole thing. Oh, we it's so cool. It's like a puzzle. We got to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Like an escape room.
They're absolutely fucking with you.
Sadly, we haven't found the exit in the escape room yet.
You're right.
Maybe after November.
Well, the other thing is isolation. So they isolate you from your group, from your troop of friends.
Like I said, they separated my girlfriend and I immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. And that's how they do it. That's absolutely how they do it.
Oh, hey, Dan, I got an update on my thing that my dad sent for, and I'm getting my hat on Friday.
Oh, you get something on Friday? What do you get?
A hat?
And that hat and shirt that I told you about.
Oh,
that,
cool.
I just got mail from him that said that well, it's my time to get my CFAP washed out, and he said, hey, I just got a notice that your hat comes on Friday, so I'll come by with your hat.
There you go. Exciting day tomorrow. You're
Nice.
going to get your new hat. Kevin, thank you so much for calling in, honey.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Kev.
you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, I'll always fill you in on everything, even as a moderator. I mean, I just like talking to you people.
I know. It's fun. That's why I like the call-in feature.
Yeah.
It's lots of fun. By the way, as we're hanging up with Kevin, thank you again, honey. Thanks so much for calling in. We'll talk to you soon. By the way, we've got a little announcement to make. We do have T-shirts now. We have T-shirts, and what's it called? Red Bubble. You can get the logo right now that we have up right now. That Benny and Diane at 21st Century Suffragettes T-shirt that you see, the little logo you see there on the screen. We do have that. We have other ones. We are working on more to, get final designs and stuff. We had to get stuff up right away so we could get.
I remember
so we
that
made a bunch of shirts real
from
quick.
the second podcast that we did. It's like we're working on it.
Yeah. So we do have, we got that one design done, and it takes a lot to get. But not only that, we're artists. Both of us are, and we're like, no, I don't like this, and I don't like that, and it has to be perfect.
No.
But that's just
Changes
the way we
1,000
are.
times before it's done.
Yeah. It's got to be exactly the way we want it.
Yeah. Like I said,
You can get an I
like
Am
the
5
new
Eggs
logo.
T-shirt right now, and the Benny and Diane T-shirt right
Yeah,
now
and
if you want.
Like I found out, did you know that Hal Sparks has those T-shirts too?
Yeah, I know he's got T-shirts. He's got a whole bunch.
Because I looked at on the T-shirt merch and everything, and then pretty soon I saw this I saw the Nerd Shaman shirts, and then pretty soon I was like, okay, and this is one of our shirts, 5 eggs. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Benny says she loves the guilty 34 times. We just put guilty, 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 guilty 34 times. That was it. That's just the whole t-shirt. Nothing else.
Yeah.
I saw on somebody's show, it might have been Tony Michaels. No, it wasn't. It was Ojeda. That was the major.
Yeah.
And he had a meme that was the count from Sesame Street. And it was the count like 34 times. And it said 34 counts. I was like, yay.
That's
I want that on
great.
a t-shirt.
I'm not getting it, but I like that. Looking at that other one that Jordy talks about, it's like, don't send him to the White House, send him to the big house. It's like,
Yeah.
hey.
He does not belong in the White House. He belongs in the big house. And I think we're going to end our show right there because we are 7 minutes past 7. Thank you so much, Kevin Anderson and everybody else who called in and everybody who's in the chat. And thank you again to MOMZ Russo and SPYKIN are joining me today because when all else fails, you call your friends.
You got it.
Right.
Love you guys so much, and thanks
Love
for
you
joining
too,
me
honey.
today.
Diane. Love you guys.
Thanks everybody for showing up.
Yep, we'll see you and talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye. Tony, keep my microphone on, and I'll do some shout-outs during the song. Benny, thank you so much. Jan Morgan, Adam Westbrook, Susan Forrest, Debbie, Blue Tomato, Elizabeth, Bonnie,
I'm
thank you.
alone, I'm on birthday.
Shout out.
Where have I gone?
Christine,
And
thank
am I
you.
lost? Where am I
Thank you guys for being here so much. And over here on Twitch, we got
I'm
Wonder
alone,
Mom,
I'm on
Kelly
birthday.
Osher,
I'm meeting Sue
Jupiter
from
Judy.
Buckingham. I hate the mailman. My
Stargal,
heart's in the
Pam Matthews. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And I saw Black Dragon in there too. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace out.